In the shadow of the Philippines' turbulent geopolitical landscape, the M113A2 fire support upgrade project stands as a testament to the nation's halting yet determined march toward military modernization. Initiated under the revised Armed Forces of the Philippines Modernization Program, this ambitious endeavor to enhance the firepower of aging M113A2 armored personnel carriers has unfolded against a backdrop of fiscal constraints, strategic recalibrations, and the scars of urban warfare. As of July 2025, the project has achieved significant milestones, yet it remains mired in political controversy and operational ambiguity, reflecting the broader challenges of a nation striving to assert its sovereignty while grappling with internal and external pressures. The M113A2, a Cold War-era workhorse acquired through the U.S. Excess Defense Articles program, has long been a cornerstone of the Philippine Army's mechanized infantry. However, the 2017 Battle of Marawi exposed its limitations as 7.62mm and 12.7mm weapons faltered against concrete fortifications wielded by ISIS-inspired militants. This bloody urban conflict, which razed the city and claimed over 1,000 lives, became the crucible for the M113A2 firepower upgrade project. Under Horizon 1 of the RAFPMP, a $19.7 million government-to-government contract with Israel's Ministry of Defense, executed by Elbit Systems Land and C4I, transformed 49 M113A2s. 44 units were fitted with Elbit's Dragon 12.7mm remote-controlled weapon stations and Combat NG battlefield management systems, enabling networked operations in complex battlefields. 5 others were converted into armored mortar carriers equipped with Sultan Kardam 81mm recoil mortar systems. By 2021, these upgrades were complete, delivering enhanced precision and mobility to a force battered by Marawi's lessons. Yet, the reliance on foreign surplus and the modest caliber of these upgrades sparked debates over whether the Philippines was merely patching an outdated fleet rather than building a modern one. Parallel to this, the Philippine Army leveraged 28 additional M113A2s, with 14 transformed into fire support vehicles under the same Elbit contract. These FSVs, armed with 76mm L23A1 low-pressure guns from decommissioned Alva Scorpion turrets, introduced a significant leap in direct fire capability. Equipped with advanced fire control systems and thermal imaging, they were tailored for urban and counterinsurgency operations. 4 M113A2s received 25mm cannons on Elbit RCWS, 6 were fitted with 12.7mm RCWS, and 4 were configured as armored recovery vehicles. Completed by 2021, these upgrades bolstered the mechanized infantry division, offering a semblance of deterrence in a region shadowed by China's maritime ambitions and domestic insurgencies. However, critics argue that the Scorpion turrets, sourced from obsolete platforms, symbolize a troubling dependence on second-hand solutions, raising questions about the Philippines' strategic autonomy in an era of great power rivalry. The Horizon 2 phase of the RAFPMP further expanded the M113A2's role through the acquisition of 15 refurbished ex-Israel Defense Forces M113A2s converted to M125A2 standards. These units, delivered by 2022, were equipped with Sultan Kardam 120mm recoil mortar systems and Combat NG BMS. Deployed to the 3rd Infantry Division, these armored mortar carriers provide a 7,000-meter range and a firing rate of 16 rounds per minute, embodying the shoot-and-scoot doctrine critical for evading counterfire. 5 120mm conversion barrels were also supplied to upgrade earlier 81mm Cardum systems, enhancing artillery support. This phase, operational by 2025, has been hailed as a pragmatic response to the Philippines' need for mobile, networked firepower. Yet, the project's reliance on Israeli surplus has drawn scrutiny, with critics pointing to the ethical and political implications of deepening ties with Israel amid global debates over its defense exports. A less certain chapter of the M113A2 saga lies in the one-man turret project, initially envisioned to equip 32 units with M134D 7.62mm miniguns and armored canopies. Marawi's lessons, however, rendered this plan obsolete as small-caliber weapons proved inadequate against fortified positions. The Army pivoted to 25mm guns, exploring Elbit's UT-25 unmanned turret or manned turrets akin to the YPR-765 AIFV. While 25mm calibers offered improved concrete penetration, military planners expressed a preference for 30mm systems, constrained by logistical realities. As of 2025, updates on this project remain sparse, suggesting delays or re-evaluation. This ambiguity fuels controversy, with analysts questioning whether the Army's incremental approach squanders resources on stopgap measures rather than investing in next-generation platforms. The M113A2 upgrades, while operationally significant, are not without political and strategic contention. The Philippine Army's decision to refurbish surplus M113s over acquiring new platforms like the FNSS ACV-300 reflects a stark reality. Fiscal constraints dictate modernization. The Re-Horizon 3 program, with its $35 billion budget through 2028, promises further acquisitions, including additional M113A2s from U.S. or European stocks. Yet funding uncertainties loom, compounded by competing priorities in a nation facing maritime disputes in the South China Sea and persistent insurgencies. The upgrades, while cost-effective, underscore a deeper malaise, a reliance on foreign surplus and technology that critics argue undermines national self-reliance. The pivot to larger calibers and network systems, driven by Marawi's urban crucible, is a pragmatic response, but it also highlights the Army's struggle to balance immediate needs with long-term strategic goals. The political dimensions of the M113A2 upgrades are equally fraught. The Duterte administration's pre-2022 emphasis on countering ISIS-inspired threats shaped the project's urgency, but the reliance on Israeli and U.S. partnerships has sparked debate. Some lawmakers and activists question the alignment with Israel, citing its controversial global defense footprint, while others criticize the U.S. EDA program as a mechanism that perpetuates dependence on American military cast-offs. These tensions reflect the Philippines' broader geopolitical tightrope, balancing alliances with the U.S. and Israel against domestic calls for sovereignty and regional pressures from China's assertiveness. The M113A2 upgrades, while enhancing the Army's mechanized capabilities, thus become a microcosm of the nation's struggle to define its military identity in a contested world. As of July 2025, the M113A2 fire support upgrade project stands at a crossroads. The completed upgrades, 44 RCWS-equipped APCs, 5 81mm mortar carriers, 14 76mm FSVs, and 15 120mm AMCs, have undeniably strengthened the Philippine Army's urban and counterinsurgency capabilities. The Mechanized Infantry Division, bolstered by these assets, is better equipped to face modern threats. Yet, the unresolved one-man turret project and plans for further acquisitions under Horizon 2 signal ongoing challenges. The Philippines' pursuit of firepower, forged in the crucible of Marawi and shaped by fiscal realities, is a narrative of resilience and compromise. It is a story of a nation striving to modernize its forces while navigating the treacherous currents of geopolitics, budgetary limits, and the haunting specter of past conflicts. Whether these upgrades will suffice in the face of future threats, be they urban insurgencies or maritime confrontations, remains an open question, one that will test the Philippines' resolve and ingenuity in the years ahead.